Oke guys, welcome back again with me di Pauzan. Ya, di video kali ini seperti yang teman-teman bisa lihat di sini, aku upload video lagi. Ya, kali ini tentang Mobile Legends guys ya. Turnamen Iesf Bali 2022, yaitu turnamen dunia di gaming ya guys ya. Jadi ada Dota 2, ada CS:GO, ada Tekken, ada Mobile Legends dan lain-lain gamenya guys ya. Nah, ini diadakan di Bali, Indonesia guys ya. Dan untuk saat ini seperti yang kalian lihat, ini adalah ini guys, pertandingan Mobile Legends Bang Bang di antara Indonesia melawan Filipina. Sorry tadi agak sedikit nge-lag guys ya jaringannya. Nah, di sini Filipina diwakili oleh tim dari Blacklist, ada Imam, Ilaluna, Soriono dan Dadadap. Oke, first blood didapatkan oleh tim Filipina guys. Itu adalah tim Blacklist yang tim inti guys ya. Teratas harus mati. Ada di situ ada Haji, ada Omai Vendors, Wise, Edward dan juga OHAP guys ya. Jadi ini Filipina full team juara MPL season 11 kemarin guys ya. Dan Evos untuk tim Indonesia diwakili oleh Evos. Kenapa tidak BTR bang? Karena BTR kalah melawan Evos guys ya. Jadi waktu pemilihan timnya itu ada dua tim, ada BTR dan juga Evos. Jadi yang dipilih itu cuma satu tim saja dari Indonesia, dan yang menang itu adalah Evos. Jadi Evos yang mewakili Indonesia di ajang Iesf. Oke, untuk saat ini sudah unggul 2-0 tim dari Filipina, dan Turtle diambil saja oleh Rosario atau yang biasa kita kenal dengan sebutan Wise. Tas ini menggunakan jungler ya, bukan Sujin dan juga bukan Persik. Tas di sini kembali bermain jungler guys. Karena waktu season 10 kemarin Tas itu sebagai season 10. Iya, season 10 ya kemarin ya. Di season 10 kemarin Tas itu sebagai mid laner bukan jungler. Junglernya adalah Sujin. Dan sekarang dia bersama Bran, Sijumi, Dreams, Psychots ya. Psychots ya kemarin sudah masuk di tim MPL tapi masih belum, permainannya belum sesuai ekspektasi. Dan perlahan-lahan Psychots sekarang mainnya sudah lebih bagus ya guys ya daripada waktu di MPL. Oke, ada Circling Eagle terhadap Brans, dan Brans harus tumbang. Dreams, apakah Dreams bisa pulang dengan selamat? Ternyata masih bisa selamat Dreams ya guys. Oke, gold sementara berjumlah 2000, perbedaan Tas hampir saja. Dreams juga sekarat banget itu, masih bisa selamat, dan dia tidak mau buang-buang prickle ya Dreams ya guys. Bagus banget gitu.
There you go. Indonesia just a bit too late, a bit too behind when it comes to that pressure, and the Philippines absolutely capitalize and punish anybody who doesn't want to back away from their
Oke, turret atas sudah hancur di menit yang ke-5. 6 menit kurang guys ya. Dan goldnya makin jauh saja. Blacklist terus sekarang unggul dengan 3000 gold ya guys ya.
The ultimate bonding experience where they group up as 5 into the mid lane. They start to just put in a lot of mid pressure so that they can actually have more room to play in the side.
Evos masih berusaha untuk mengejar ketertinggalan di sini guys.
In that XP lane solo.
Villaluna right now though has completed that radiant armor. That item reduces damage when it comes to multiple instances of damage. So against a Faramis, against
ditarik saja di situ guys.
It's gonna be very good, but look at that.
Pick potential over the Nobody comes in.
Ijume harus tumbang.
Taking back a whole
Dreams masih bisa kabur menggunakan flicker guys.
Turning it completely around.
Dan free turtle yang kedua untuk tim Filipina guys ya. Turtle yang ketiga guys, bukan yang kedua lagi. Yang ketiga ini turret tengah juga sudah dihancurin oleh tim Filipina. Tas di atas bersama Dreams berusaha untuk mencari pundi-pundi gold sini, dan juga Brans masih mencari-cari minion saja. Di semak-semak sudah menunggu di situ ada Villa Luna dan juga Rosario. Bukan Rosario, Soriona ya, Soriona. Oke, circling eagle ditabrak saja tadi. Psychots-nya harus tumbang, guys. Dan Hijumi lagi-lagi tumbang, sudah 2 kali Hijumi tumbang, dan dalam sekejap saja turret bawah langsung didapatkan oleh tim Blacklist International. Oke, Brans
away from the tier 2 as they look to start sieging down on every single turret.
The damage difference right now from both teams is just so
masih berusaha meng-clear minion saja tim Evos. Oke, mari kita saksikan replay. Ini ada circling eagle dari Matildanya dan kemudian lapu-lapu dan stone dan diakhiri oleh Beatrix. Lihat perubahan gold. Perbedaan goldnya guys, 19.000 berbanding 26.000, beda 7.000 gold ya. Nah, 6.000 gold sekarang guys, jauh banget ya. Ini sudah menit ke-8 Evos. Apakah Evos masih bisa menahan ini? Apakah Evos akan comeback atau apakah Indonesia akan comeback?
But there you can see again a curveball thrown over to Indonesia, or maybe Indonesia have done their research onto how Philippines likes to play with the lead. They take another step ahead and they think 2 steps ahead of Indonesia.
Atas dan Brans ditarik saja di situ lapu-lapu dan persumbang Brans masih bisa selamat Bransnya, dan juga Beatrix di situ akan ditumbangkan guys, ditabrak saja oleh Psychots, dan Lord pertama berhasil didapatkan oleh tim Blacklist atau tim Filipina guys ya.
I think considering the fact that the Philippines are so ahead,
kita lihat itemnya Beatrix sudah membeli Blood Death of Despair dan juga Malefic Roar, sementara Elisa sudah membeli Windtalker dan juga Berserker Fury bersama dengan sepatu Swiftboat. Saja sudah membeli Oracle ya guys ya. Hunter Strike sudah juga dibeli oleh Psychots, dan Lucian membeli Glowing One dan juga apa itu ya, Genius One ya, Genius One dan Glowing One ini sudah jadi. Tapi di sini tim Filipina lebih unggul deh guys ya, dari segi gold dan juga jumlah item. 5.000 gold perbedaan antara Indonesia dan Filipina.
And they get the Lord for that. So if it was a shutdown, I would actually say that Indonesia definitely came out on top.
Dan Rosario berusaha mengecek Smackdown, langsung saja kabur Lucian tasnya. Ini kayaknya masih bisa ditahan ya guys ya, dari tim Indonesia. Ada damage dari turret juga ya, masih bisa ditahan. Lihat Psychots-nya guys, lihat Psychots, lihat Yuzong, dia tenang saja di situ ya, menunggu deh guys, menunggu tim Filipina untuk mendekat ya. Dia langsung lompat ini kayaknya. Coba lihat guys ya. Tuh, dia langsung lompat petrified dan shutdown 2 orang guys. 3 orang lah. Ini momen comeback untuk Evos ya guys. Nice sekali dari Psychocha kalau kata orang-orang guys ya.
Blink and you'll miss it, and engage gave
The Tas itu berusaha beradu retribution tapi dimenangkan oleh Tas, dan turret bawah sudah didapatkan oleh tim Indonesia.
Only 2K right now, but the Philippines, they are still in the lead and they are no stranger to these late games.
Dreams opening up the map just a bit, going to be chunked down by Del Rosario, but he is going to be able to back off without having anything taken away. Honestly, looking at it right now, Rashi, Indonesia, their main win condition, we thought it would be Brands on that Melissa. We thought it was going to be the Gushin on the hands of Taz, but it's actually Psychots, the man that has been doubted so many times by everyone.
By the public. I mean, this man has had a very lackluster season in his last performance. That was a performance in the last season, actually, rather. But here, knowing that Indonesia are relying very heavily on a very reliable
Oke,
engage.
oke. Lord yang enhance sudah muncul atau Lord yang kedua guys sudah muncul. Oke, Dream di sana tumbang Hijune masih bisa selamat Brans. Hampir saja mendapatkan si Edward di situ guys. Dikejar oleh tim Indonesia.
And it will be waiting for the Lord take. And Philippines, they are so good at the Lord dance. Going back and forth, waiting for their opponents to make a
Lord
mistake.
yang kedua sudah dicicil guys. Dan langsung aja Black Dragon Form dan langsung saja mengejar ke arah Beatrix guys. Di sini Beatrix terkena, hampir saja Beatrixnya tumbang, tapi ada circle juga ke arah Psychos dan Edward harus tumbang gitu guys. Karat semua ya di Filipina, tapi Evos lebih memilih untuk langsung saja Lord ya guys ya. Ini Evos mainnya sekarang rapi, bagus banget, apalagi Psychos gendong-gendong dia guys. Tumben banget Psychos nggak kocak guys ya. Ada konsil digunakan oleh Dreams.
Back off for now, as the orange buff will be contested as well. So the Philippines are now on the back foot. And if you look at the composition,
ya, turret tengah sudah hancur. Mini Lord sudah menuju ke arah atas yang didapatkan oleh tim Evos.
After that play, they go for the purple buff as well. And the Philippines have a huge problem on their hands. The Black Dragon form lasts for way too long. The Guiding Wind was used to try and buy some make some distance, buy some more time, but it was not enough. The Philippines must come up with a different solution, a different answer.
A momentum shift in the 13th minute of the game. And now it's Philippines.
Oke, Lord sudah menghancurkan turret yang di atas. Turret tier 3. Bran sudah membeli Cloud.
Top lane. Evos legends here, Team Indonesia are gonna look to try to siege them down.
The Black Dragon form lagi.
Tries his best to keep Psychots at bay. The damage comes
tapi dia tidak mau langsung barbar. Ada ultimate dari Lap-Lap. Langsung saja bubar jalan Evos. Dan kalau kalian coba lihat gold ya guys, sekarang goldnya sudah sama, malahan unggul Evos ya guys ya, 1000 gold. Dia sudah berbalik keadaan untuk Evos. Tas sudah membeli Holy Crystal.
He goes in for the Black Dragon form, but he doesn't always use that Petrify. And when you think about it, the Petrify is what makes these engages so dangerous. It guarantees the Furious Dive knockup, and that is what allows Indonesia to just be a lot more elusive. And as we talked about it earlier, this is what is so dangerous. They can feint around, act like they're about to engage the fight, and then back away. The Philippines need to identify the right moment and then adjust accordingly. Do they want to go and fight after the Black Dragon form is down, or do they want to just stall?
Brans, ada ultimate dari Brans dan ada ultimate dari Paramis. Brans masih tetap selamat, masih survive. Beatrix ternyata diciduk oleh Cushion di guys. Brans masih bertahan guys, masih ada Hasclaw dia. Caranya nambah lagi. Ada konsil dari Kaja di situ dan lihat.
Indonesia with the
ini epic comeback dari Evos. Semua pemain dari tim Filipina sudah tumbang guys. Tarik saja Matilda, langsung dipelikarin saja. Nice banget dari Evos. 1-0 guys.
Oh my god, what an upset. It looked like the Philippines were going to cruise to an easy victory, but the Indonesians pull through.
1-0 match pertama dimenangkan oleh Evos. Kita langsung menuju ke match yang kedua, game yang kedua guys ya. Oke guys, kita lanjut ke match yang kedua, game yang kedua antara tim Filipina melawan tim Indonesia guys. Ini draft masih sama, ada yang berbeda, ada yang sama. Dreams masih menggunakan Kaja, Hijune mengganti sekarang menggunakan YPE, dan Psychots masih menggunakan Yuzong. Sementara Brans beralih menggunakan Leslie dan Tas menggunakan Akai di sini. Sementara untuk tim Filipina masih menggunakan Matilda, tapi dia ada Paramis di sini guys, pengganti dari si Valentina tadi guys ya. Dan juga ada Grok di sini, Grok jungler ternyata guys di sini, dan juga ada siapa? Redrin, XP Lane, dan Beatrix masih menggunakan Beatrix.
So right now, they're just moving around, and I think before the first turtle spawns, it's gonna be relatively slow.
Psychot sendirian di atas.
Oh, there you go.
Ditabrak
Very
saja
well
Psychotnya
charged.
dan
Psychot
dengan
now
Walter dan ada
turn
first
over
blood
to
pas.
Philippines, but look at Taz. He's able to bring the members
Apakah dia
back into the
berhasil
heavy
mendapatkan
field. Del Rosario
oke satu
the
untuk satu
jungler
tapi
for the
kerugian
XP
untuk
lane,
tim
and Dapper
Filipina karena
is
dia
able to flicker out
junglernya
there.
guys ya.
A bit late on this rotation to match up against the Indonesian mid laners, but it is still just going to be a 1-for-1.
So 1-for-1. So both teams now holding their own, but this is where things get a bit hairy. The first turtle, where everyone has their ultimates, we have to see who can actually weave in the better team fight.
No ultimate for Del Rosario just now. Taz gonna go for it. Will be able to secure the turtle with a brilliant retribution. Dreams gets knocked up, but Philippines decide to back off. Now Dreams flickering forward gets the divine judgment onto Imam.
Oke, ada Psychot langsung saja menabrak ke arah belakang tapi masih belum guys.
The Filipino members here.
Bran sendirian di belakang, di bawah.
And we can take a look at how the changes have impacted this Faramis, right? The Cult Altar was used in that fight, and with one single spell, the rest of the team from Indonesia is able to melt down that HP bar. So it really isn't an all-win team fight solution, but it is very situationally used to help save.
Dan sekarang Bran menuju ke arah tengah. Ada ultimate dari tim, ada nice banget dari Iesf langsung tumbang.
But the kill will go over to Hijume. Brands sacrificing a bit of gold there in the bottom side, but will still be able to catch up down below to pick up that cannon minion.
With stronger laners on the hands of the Indonesian players, they are now able to actually match the aggression, the fights, the skirmishes from the members of the Philippines. And now you can see that the Kaja pick is just having a lot more impact. This is what they wanted to do in game number 1, but the macro play coming in from the Philippines was able to deny that. That won't be the case.
Oke, masih unggul sementara saat ini untuk Evos. Lalu hampir saja tas.
The more versatile maneuvers and
di sini awal-awal ini sekarang malah unggul Evos ya guys. Tadi di game yang pertama itu Evos susah payah buat menang guys ya. Di sini Evos mengunggul dan Bran sudah menjadikan berserker Fury-nya di situ. Langsung mundur saja Leslie.
You also are really good at actually going at duels up against the Beatrix. I would actually say in a 1v1, it's skill dependent, but Leslie has
cantik banget skin barunya guys ya.
He doesn't need to target any of his skills. It's not a skill shot. Meanwhile, for the Beatrix, you need to go for those render shots to actually be able to compete in that range battle.
We have to be careful though, because Soriano has the Blade of Despair completed.
Ditabrak saja oleh Tas tadi.
Is being pressured for both teams, but it seems like the Indonesians will have a bit of a lead in the control game.
Divine Judgment and the
Judgment berhasil mendapatkan Imam. Tas berhasil mendapatkan ternyata guys. Dapatkan turtle-nya di situ. Oke, langsung saja Iesf berhasil mendapatkan dapat dengan situ. Dapat.
Everything going wrong for Philippines in the early game of game 2.
They lose a member to the pickoff, they lose a turtle to the steal, so Indonesia is completely taking over and looking completely different. Is this a momentum thing? We'll just have to see. Hijume with the Ice Queen's 1 right now will ensure that the Filipino members need to be a bit more.
Leslie free farming di sini guys ya. Lihat itu Leslie sudah mau level 8 sementara Beatrix belum, masih jauh untuk level 8 guys ya guys. Tapi dia ambil goldnya. Sekarang Beatrix memimpin.
He should have more gold than Soriano here with the assist that he got as well. But here in the mid lane, the bottom side river, Del Rosario gonna be up again, and that's the pin.
Nice banget dari Tas.
Del Rosario gonna fall for the second time in this game. Dreams with
another
judgment over to Imam, as that's Imam dealing no damage over to Taz, who jumps in again. Soriano zoned away, but the damage coming in from Brands, shooting him down. Dapat finally rotating towards that bottom side, but it's a bit
Tara Psychot di atas berhasil memotong lagi, memotong jungler.
Falling more and more behind as we go and progress into the game.
The Philippines are having very much trouble trying to manage distance because they're being slowed an insane amount. At any moment, it starts with the slow, and then it gets followed up with the divine judgment, with the heavy spin. So Indonesia's pick-off game is going
Turret
exactly
atas
how
sudah
we want it
hancur,
to.
guys.
And right now, they also
Antara
have
Evos
the
sekarang
advantage of
Evos.
range.
Tim
And also,
Indonesia
when it comes to that late
unggul
game, they have that
3000
artillery
gold.
with the real-world manipulation, and they also have the Leslie that can do a lot of true damage up to 2k in a single hit. And in the late game, Soriano will have a lot of issues trying to get any impact done in the middle of a big team fight.
There's so much CC from Team Indonesia. There's a lot of survivability from Philippines, but they need to be able to utilize that crazy engage from the wild charge. And right now, it just doesn't feel like they are going to be able to. Taz there.
Taz berhasil mengamankan turtle. Ada Black Diamond Form dari Psychos.
They baited out the Cold Altar and they baited out Villa Luna into the other side of the wall. Mid lane turret going to be sieged down. Brands looking to poke the Filipino members. But it's a good disengagement.
Hampir saja tadi.
It's still a small victory for Indonesia with that turtle take.
Look at how
Psychots.
much movement, how much of a reaction you can see from the Filipino players whenever Psychots is on the map, whenever he makes an appearance. He wasn't even popping the Black Dragon Form initially, and everybody was walking backwards in fear of that engage coming through. And when you are so focused like that, you are not looking at Taz with a heavy spin. You are not looking at Dreams waiting for that divine judgment.
What I want to look at is definitely the items here for Brands, because I wonder how much gold he's actually gone this game. So far, he's had
Brands sekarang masih unggul, guys. Dia sudah 20. Oke, ditarik saja gold dan langsung diputar oleh Taz dan di ending kill oleh Izumi, guys.
Look at the poke put down by Brands. Dream's going to be in the midst of it all right now, as he is going to be able to dish out some damage to zone the other members away. Dream still there with
Psychots dari belakang.
With a
Wow.
fight to find Soriano and
Gila
a
sih,
furious
dari belakang,
dive
guys.
to get Imam low under the tier 1. Gunned down by Brands. It's a 2-0 trade for Indonesia.
Unreal execution coming in from Indonesia right now. We thought that Psychots was the main distraction. He was the one coming in from behind. You barely notice it until it's way, way too late. Let's take a look at that replay right now. The fight was breaking up. There's a lot of action back and forth. Psychots,
Bagus banget sih dia,
it
guys.
doesn't even matter because it's way too low. Indonesia able to actually push Philippines.
Dia langsung dari atas gitu, guys, ya.
Position, and now with all the advantages when it comes to crowd control, when it comes to damage, they are looking at a cruising victory in game number 2.
This is insane.
Unreal.
That's the word you can use for it, right? So much doubt for this Indonesian team after they qualified to represent Indonesia with only a week to prepare right after qualifying. Still able to play super well. And now they're rotating towards that top side. Taz
langsung
mengamankan
Rosario sendirian.
Has to use the wild charge defensively and will lose out on a lot of HP. Brand still
Hampir saja Rosario.
has the flicker. They're gonna go in for another re-engage here. Just some poke down onto the frontliners, and you can see that true damage, Rashi. I really wonder what the items are looking like right now, because the damage is pretty unreal already in 9 minutes for a Leslie.
It comes with a true damage, and when you're concerned about the
Kita lihat item Leslie, guys, sudah jadi Berserker Fury, Talker, dan juga Endless Battle, guys. Dia memakai suatu sweep boots ya.
Battle as well allows him to get so much more burst damage initially, and after that, the Berserker's Fury allows him to dish out a healthy amount of DPS. On the other hand, you can see the Iesf, right? Hijumi with the glowing wand. All these tanky members are taking percentage HP damage whenever he's dishing out these spells, and they are absolutely spammable. And the siege game is dangerous.
Luna going to be caught in that real.
Oh, hampir saja, guys.
Bomb as well, zoned away. The wave manipulation from Indonesia, absolutely phenomenal as they are.
Ini bisa di end sih.
Lord down below to pick up a turret with Psychot zoning other members away with a Black Dragon form as well. That's base turret number 1.
Turretnya sudah bolong, guys.
Top side pushing in, but Indonesia will decide to just play it slow, clear out the mid lane, and reset.
They have an absolute advantage when it comes down to those siege situations. Having the Iesf, having the Leslie means that you do not have to go and force those fights, because there's no other way for the Philippines to dish back that kind of damage. Soriano is the only solution they have, and at this point, when the only option you have when you only have a single option, it becomes very easy for your opponents to try and adjust to that. But the Philippines, it seems
Kita
like they are not
berhasil
willing to
mendapatkan
completely concede control just yet. They need to be very careful.
Ini ya, guys, ya.
The flank game. That flank game is just so on point from Indonesia right now.
buff merah
We
di
saw
situ.
in game 1, only just the opposite happening here in game 2. Indonesia having control the whole 10 minutes early on. Philippines with a very similar flanking position here to
Concealed.
look for something, but it's going to be a concealed play from Indonesia.
Wow.
Dream finds the divine judgment onto the best possible target. Sorry,
Gila sih, guys, nariknya gede.
has to flicker out, but Psychos chases him down with a passive. Dapadab still surviving here. Only one
Wah.
member taken down, but that might
Nice
just
banget
be
dari
the
Dreams tadi,
member
guys.
that Indonesia needs to pick up some more base turrets. That high ground control is no longer available for Soriano. Dapadab trying to go in for some damage right there, but it's actually be petrified from Imam.
Nice, Leslie-nya udah sakit banget, guys.
In
Oh,
desperation, Villaluna
double kill.
in the back has to back off. It's an absolutely insane game and an insane performance from Indonesia. As they knock
nice,
Philippines
nice banget.
down to
Indonesia
lower
menang,
brackets.
guys. Oke, berarti Indonesia menang, guys ya.
God.
Jadi
We have
Indonesia
no
berhak
words
maju
left
ke
right
upper
How is
bracket
that
dan
possible?
Blacklist
That
harus
is
turun ke
insane from Indonesia.
lower bracket ya,
The
Filipina
awareness
maksudnya,
to
guys
know
ya.
Where are the members from the Philippines who to target in the middle of everything against a team?
Jadi ini
As
belum
as-
pertandingan final, guys ya. Jadi ini masih playoff dan Indonesia masih di atas, masih di upper bracket. Blacklist karena kalah turun ke lower bracket ya, guys ya. Nah, jadi besok kita bakal menyaksikan Indonesia melawan tim yang sebelumnya menang. Tim apa itu ya? Nggak tahu juga aku siapa yang menang. Pokoknya nanti ada lawan Indonesia juga di upper bracket, sesama upper bracket, dan Blacklist turun ke lower bracket melawan tim yang juga kalah ya, guys, di lower bracket. Oke, baiklah, sampai di situ saja video kita kali ini ya, cukup panjang ya, hampir setengah jam karena 2 match sudah kita menyaksikan pertandingan Indonesia melawan Filipina. Sampai jumpa lagi di video-video selanjutnya. See you.